Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm here to tell you a story. Today's story is taken from a Native American legend. And the version I'm using is the one written by Native American author and storyteller Joseph Bruchac, who happens to be one of my favorites. So today's story is that of how the chipmunk got his stripes. So, there was once a little ground squirrel, and he lived in a burrow with his grandmother at the edge of a woods. Now, the only problem with this little ground squirrel is the fact that he was a smart aleck. And his grandmother kept telling him, "Little squirrel, one of these days, that smart mouth of yours is going to get you in big trouble." So one morning, the little squirrel went out, and he's roaming through the woods, just having a fine old day, picking up nuts and eating them, and just climbing around and walking around. And who should happen along but the big bear that lived in the woods? And he came marching through saying, "I am Bear. I am the strongest. Yes, I am. I am Bear. I am the best. Yes, I am. I am Bear. I can do anything. Yes, I can." And suddenly he hears this little voice. "You can do anything?" Who said that? And he looks down, and by his feet is that little squirrel. "Yes, I can do anything. I am Bear." Could you make it so the sun doesn't rise in the morning? Well, I've never tried that. But I am Bear. I am powerful, and I can do anything. So yes, I can. Bet you can't. Well, we'll see about that. And the bear climbed up a big hill nearby, and he looked at the sun and said, "Hey, sun, I am Bear. And I am ordering you not to rise in the morning." And he sits down on the hill to wait for morning. So the little squirrel comes up and sits right down next to him. And the bear keeps saying, "The sun will not come up. Humph! The sun will not come up. Humph!" And that little smart alecky squirrel is saying, "The sun is gonna rise. The sun is gonna rise. The sun will not come up. Humph! The sun is gonna rise. The sun is gonna rise." Well, soon a lot of the other forest animals start arriving to find out what's going on. And they're talking among themselves. And they decide, well, this is interesting. We probably should sit and watch and see what happens. And they're chatting amongst themselves. And the owl says, "Well, I hope the sun comes up, because how will I know when I'm supposed to sleep?" And some of the other animals are going, "I don't think Bear can do it." And others are saying, "Well, Bear's pretty powerful. He just might pull this one off." In the meantime, the bear is saying, The sun will not come up. Humph! The sun will not come up. Humph! And the squirrel keeps saying, the sun is gonna rise. The sun is gonna rise. So this goes on for hours. They watched the sun go down, and then through the dark of night, they sat there with the bear saying, the sun will not come up. Harumph! The sun will not come up. Harumph! And the little squirrel, the sun is gonna rise. The sun is gonna rise. So after sitting there all night, the owl says, hoo-hoo! Look, there's some pink in the sky. That usually means the sun's about to rise. The bear turns to him and says, the sun will not come up. Humph! And the squirrel says, the sun is gonna rise. The sun is gonna rise. So then the light gets a little stronger. And there's more pink and a little bit of red in the sky. And it gets lighter and lighter, and the animals are going, look at that, it's getting light, it's going to happen, we're going to have sun again. And the bear says, the sun will not come up. Harumph! The sun will not come up. Harumph! And of course, the little squirrel says, the sun is gonna rise, the sun is gonna rise. And sure enough, eventually over the horizon, they see the sun start to rise. So the other animals are all like, well, you know, it's a thing, it happened, it's done, the sun is up, we're going home. So they all left. And the bear sat there, and he was not happy. And that little squirrel just would not stop. Bear was silly, the sun came up. Bear was wrong, the sun came up. Bear didn't do it, the sun came up. Bear was stupid, the sun came and whoomph! The bear smacked his big old paw down on that little squirrel. And he said, okay, I didn't do it. I was wrong. But you need to learn to control that smart aleck mouth of yours. And I think I deserve an apology. Then I'm going to eat you up. So the squirrel is squashed underneath that big old paw. And he says, you know, Bear, you're right. I shouldn't have kept saying those bad things. And I'd like to give you a proper apology. But you have to let me up because I can't breathe. So the bear says, yes, I deserve an apology. And he lifts up his paw just a little bit, and that little squirrel took off running. And he was running as fast as he could for the burrow, and the bear was right behind him, running as fast as he could. And the bear was catching up. And the little squirrel was running and running and running and running as hard as he could. And his grandmother pops out of the burrow and says, come on, little squirrel, faster, faster. He's catching up. And the bear is coming along, and he's getting closer, and he's getting closer. And just as the squirrel dives down the burrow, he reaches out one big paw to catch him. But the squirrel dives in real quick, and all the bear ends up with is a little bit of fur on each of his claws. Now, that little squirrel spent quite a while inside the burrow with his grandmother taking care of him, because he had some massive scratches all down his back. But once he was healed, he was able to go outside again. But something had changed, and now wherever those scratches were, the little ground squirrel had stripes. And that is how the chipmunk got his stripes. The end. I hope you enjoyed it.